All right, welcome back, everybody. Today is going to be a simple how-to. Uh, Obviously, if you read the title, it's Tackle Tip Tuesday. One thing I wanted to do for everybody, and it's basically a little late, but I mean, you have all of fall to do this. And I'm out in the boat right now I was just filming something else, and I just remembered that I wanted to get this done for you guys. So this guy, this little Matsu minnow, I forgot what it's called. I'll list it in the link or in the description below. But obviously, if you're seeing this, what I'm describing today is going to be how to fish creeks with these little mini jerk baits. It's probably one of my go-to lures. Okay, so like I said in the intro, this is just a Matsu minnow. I have about a dozen of these in all sorts of different colors. Now, I just want to go over how to rig this real quick. I'm going to try and keep today's Tackle Tip Tuesday really short. This is going to be your basic thing. So you have your Matsu minnow, you have a clip, then you have what I use is my main line just divided, and then an inline swivel about, I don't know, that's about 24 inches up. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is the only way I can do this easily for you guys to understand. The way I'm working this thing is, well, it's going to be almost impossible to show you and film it at the same time. Perks of filming by yourself. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'll just insert a clip or two in where I'm talking about, and off the top of my head, I can actually think of two of them. One of them, since this guy kind of sinks with this rig, with the leader rig on it, what you're gonna want to do is basically find any holes or corners or edges, basically drop off, stuff like that. In a creek that could be like 2 to 3 feet, could be a foot. You don't know, but that's why I like using this, because you can fish a foot of water all the way down to, like, I think the deepest I fished this is like 5-6 feet of water, because fish will come up for it. I'm gonna set this aside real quick so I don't hook myself. One thing I wanted to tell you guys is I'm gonna describe what I'm doing in this clip here, and then I'm gonna show you this clip. So one of the first things I did here was I was walking up a river, well, creek. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Tell me what you think this is in this clip coming up, whether it's a creek, river, or stream, whatever. But so I was walking up it, and what I did is I got to a point where it was at a shallow hump, and then I knew that it was going to drop off up ahead. All right, so it was going to drop off ahead, and then what I ended up doing was basically casting up to, so if you guys, I'll put it at the end of this video for you guys, because it's kind of going to be similar. I made a whole video on how to fish streams. What I did is I was casting to the next rapids. So like if I'm designing a rapid here, it drops off into a hole, and then I was standing back here way before even the edge of this, and then casting to that next one, if that makes sense, if you guys can visualize that. So that clip I'll put in right here. Oh, there's a bigger one. Oh, decent. Come on, hold still. There we go. Choked that thing sideways. Barely hooked too. Largies in the streams. This is fun stuff here. Alright, back you go. Ready? And upstream. Woo! Straight back up to the pool. Okay, so what I did in that clip, like I said, I was casting to those rapids, and then I was doing a really smooth retrieve at first, so just a steady crank, so the bait just kind of wobbles, more like a crankbait retrieve, if you guys know how to fish those. The next kind of retrieves I was doing was reeling, so it'd start wobbling, but then I'd do a sharp twitch. So it makes the bait jump side to side. If you've ever fished jerkbaits, you know. If you're new to jerkbaits, that's why they're called jerkbaits, because you jerk them and they have a really good erratic action. Obviously in that clip I caught, I don't even know, I think I caught like 3 bass or something like that out of that hole that were decent. This next clip I want to use and show you guys is basically going to be, what was that? Okay, so like I was walking up, I just walked through another hole, and I came up to a big bend, and you'll see it when I show you the clip. There was trees overhanging the bend, which that happens a lot on creeks and rivers, usually because the bank gets undercut and the trees tip over where the undercut is on the bank, and that is like a real telltale sign of like a hole or something like that. But I'll show you in a second here, but I was basically shooting it up underneath the trees, and in order to not get stuck in the weeds or sticks that were downstream from that hole, I actually had to do, like, as soon as the bait hit the water, I had to start twitching it in. I'll play that clip right here.
A decent bluegill. I think there's a couple of them over there like that. That's a bass. Today is becoming a very good day. That one's a little bit longer.
Okay, so you can see I got another bass over there. I got some bluegills. I don't know if all those are in that same clip, but basically they stack up in those corners, and with that jerk bait you can work it, letting it float down, and all you got to do is just twitch, 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 and let the current work it actually back to you, and just keep up with the slack, and that'll actually help you guys fish a hole a lot more effectively. If you guys get this lure, like I said, I'll link it in the description below. If you get this lure, you'll understand real quick of how it sinks when you twitch it in a creek, how it floats downstream. One more clip, and this is going to be the best one. So if you're on a creek where there's smallmouth and largemouth, obviously I'm thinking of smallmouth because that's the clip I'm going to play. If you can see fish, if you have smallmouth, try to keep it above them. So you're going to cast and try and keep it above them while twitching it back. Maybe twitch, reel, twitch, twitch, pause. Do a couple of different combinations until you get those fish's attention. But you want to stay above them because I think smallmouth tend to just feed upriver better. They will come downriver after something, but 9 times out of 10 they're facing upstream, so you want to stay above them. If you get like right on top of them, you can spook them, and then you basically blew your shot. So here's that clip.
That feels like a good bass. It might be a smallmouth. I think it is. It's a small jaw. Woo! This thing's got some power. I'm only running 6-pound test, so I'm not trying to muscle this thing in. I can get it up to the surface here. That's a decent small jaw. Look at that thing. I thought he was going to get off, but he's pinned pretty well with this little hook. Another decent smallie for the creek trips for the fall. Thanks for playing, dude. How he ran into my shin.
All right, so obviously those clips are going to be your basic introduction to working a micro crank through the creeks and rivers this fall. I want to hear about you guys getting out there and doing that. It's really fun. They crush it. One recommendation, that line that I'm using is P-line, 6-pound test. I actually have that linked in all of my descriptions for you guys. If you guys need line, pick that up. I promise it'll be your best investment for creek fishing and stuff like that, or anything for that matter, but you'll like it for creek fishing if you're a regular creek person. So I hope today's video helped some of you guys out. I hope you get out and throw some jerk baits around. Obviously they work. I mean, I got the video for it, and it was just perfect timing for that stuff. So I'm going to try and get out a couple more times this year on the creeks and rivers. I have some more adventures to take, and I actually have some ideas planned for some monster fish. We'll see if they come through. Obviously, though, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, please just remember to